Good evening, everyone. How are we all doing? Welcome to the final stream in what I'm essentially considering Season 1 of the Warbound development streams on this Twitch channel. How is everyone doing? Welcome to Friday. I hope you've had a lovely week. I'm sure you're all looking forward to the weekend. I know I am. Just launching Warbound here in the background, and we'll switch to that screen once that's done. I think it's been a pretty, I'm quite tired today. It's been a very busy week. Packing, sorting everything out that I need to sort out before I leave. This is, I think this was probably the last time this PC will be turned on in about 2 months. So, right after this stream, I'll be starting to disassemble the table that I'm using right now. And all of the sort of electronics and technology and everything that's on here will get stashed into boxes. So yeah, Warbound's loading now. Let's welcome to my desktop, which means I can load the Lyra game project as well. I don't think we'll be using it particularly much today. Mostly I wanted to do like a nice little send-off, just, you know, to the streams, to Season 1. I quite like the idea of doing these like little 12 episode seasons, and then maybe I'll do a summary video on YouTube or whatever. I think that could be quite fun actually, but we'll see. That's all after I return. But yeah, I think it's all come together quite nicely because we've just finished the first sort of base implementation of gameplay experiences, which is very cool. And yeah, did I eat before the stream? Yes and no. I ate a little bit further before the stream, so I didn't eat right before the stream. I ate a little bit, like I don't know, 2 hours ago or so. But yeah, I'm not hungry right now. I'm just kind of tired. But we'll be alright. Sort of enjoying the last day before my room descends into complete chaos, because I've kept the... I ate like 2 hours ago. Oh my god, chill. But yeah, I'm enjoying the last sort of semblance of sanity in this room before everything goes just completely upended. Once I start packing up the table and all the electronics and everything. So yeah, I think right after the stream I'll pack away the second monitor, and then I've got the weekend to finish packing everything up, and then Monday I'm leaving. So I would like to also make a Discord post just sort of about you want a game? I'm not starving myself. I had a full meal like 2 hours ago. And literally as soon as the stream finishes, I'm gonna go downstairs and just have some pasta. Yeah, today I just wanted to mess around with gameplay experiences a little bit. See if we can get some sort of frankly, I don't know. I just wanted to see what can be done with gameplay experiences, what we can assign components to, that sort of stuff. And yeah, just sort of a nice wind down to the end of these streams. I'll post a Discord announcement as well, probably a little bit after the stream. Yeah. I'll be taking cameras and stuff with me for hiking. I've got this lovely little GoPro setup. That's just like it's a GoPro on a little squiggly tripod. That also has a phone mount on it, so I'll be trying to capture some footage, which I might post on my main YouTube channel, maybe. We'll see. We'll see how much footage I end up getting. But, yeah. Will we see Yozit making maps? Not today, I presume. Unless he's particularly keen. I think that's sort of more of a supporter reserved thing. We'll see. I feel like supporter-only streams could be fun. We'd have to do them, obviously, through Discord, but hey. We'll figure something out. Yeah, I do quite like the idea of potentially doing like these sort of 12-episode seasons of streaming. And each season we work on sort of a different aspect of the game. So maybe the next season will be, I don't know actually, whether that will be like vehicles of some kind or the like inventory systems or whatever. I think the distinction between supporter stuff and non-supporter stuff, and I realized that like there's no actual way to become a supporter right now, except for like our essentially legacy veterans. But like we'll be sharing a little bit more information with supporters basically. What happens if you finish something in less than 12 streams? Well, the thing is, like, I don't think that's really something that's possible. 12 streams is sort of, it worked out this time, and also I have not been working on gameplay experiences for the whole streams. But I feel like planning is the key there. Because like in theory, this stream I don't have a super specific goal. It's not feature creep, it's more just polish. Like, polish is something that we'll have to do eventually, because typically in game development you have 3 phases, right? You have pre-production, production, and post-production. There are different names for these. That tends to be what I call them. In pre-production, which is what we're in now with Warbound, we're experimenting. We have an idea of what we'd like, you know, the game, the project to look like. You know, I should pull changes actually. Let me just check if Josh has pushed any changes. He has. Excellent. All right. To pop up here. Alright, I've got Josh's changes. What I was saying is essentially pre-production is where we're sort of experimenting. And, you know, we don't have an entirely like completed idea of what the game's going to look like. We don't know what the features will be. We don't know what our technology will allow us to do. We don't know sort of what our ambitions are entirely. We haven't fully settled on anything really. So we're sort of very flexible in what we do right now because all of it is useful in some way, right? We do want to be a little bit careful of like not going too deep. Like we don't want to, I've seen, you know, let's take a look at this. What was the project called? The project was called Aftermath 1945, I want to say. Game. Kickstarter. What I don't want to do is I don't particularly want to go the way of these guys, because this was a very interesting project, but they made the unfortunate decision to start entirely with assets. They had no gameplay when they hit Kickstarter, and you can see exactly how well that went for them. It did not go particularly well. And that's kind of the problem when you go too deep into a particular feature. But that's not really like something that I'm too worried about, because our team just isn't that big and we don't have that much money. So, since we're in pre-production, my whole point with this whole rant has essentially just been, if, like, let's say I finish a feature in 6 streams, that's totally fine, because then we have 6 more streams to experiment with that feature, to see where we can take that feature, which is exactly what this stream is, right? Like, I've got no specific exact idea of what I want to do this stream. I don't, there's no exact goal. So, like, I want to experiment with these loading screens because they're interesting. And I want to sort of, see what else we can apply with gameplay experiences. And yeah, we'll see where we end up, because I'm genuinely, just curious about gameplay experiences and what we can achieve with them. And that's the sort of exploration that's really valuable now. You can't keep doing that forever. If, we're 2 years into development and we're still experimenting with stuff, we're still in the essentially exact same stages now. At some point, we need to say, okay, this is what things will look like. And then we go into what's called the production stage, or mid-development, as some people call it, which is where you transition from experimenting and thinking of ideas and trying stuff out and, experimenting with your gameplay. And you start making actual content. So you go, okay, until now we've had, 2-3 guns, and, we've made 300 maps, because we need to experiment with, what types of maps work well, what types of maps don't work well. But we've never really settled on anything. All of our maps are just gray boxes. To, okay, let's pick, 3-4 maps that we want for the game. Let's pick a couple weapons, and then the work becomes more sort of, let's balance the project. Let's, take those maps from a gray box stage and move them into something that's, actually presentable, something that hits our graphical and performance targets and stuff like that. And that's a long stage. That's, but it'll be a cool stage, because the progress will tend to be a little bit more visual. So, right now I can work on gameplay experiences for, what have we done? 6 streams. And the only indication that it's working is this hello gameplay experiences green text in the top corner here. That is all of the visual stuff. That is the result of, essentially 3 weeks of work. Whereas, when we're making assets, when we're putting together maps, when we're testing graphics and stuff like that, it'll be a lot prettier and a lot nicer to show off. But we'll get there at some point. But right now, what's really important is just building mechanics, building foundations, and experimenting. Because as much as we sort of have our inspirations, when do we do closed alphas? Also, hi Dimitri, welcome to the stream. And yeah, you're absolutely right. Building maps for various modes, it takes a little bit more designing, but it is definitely possible, and is a way to sort of increase content without, especially in our case, where at this time we only have one 3D artist. So I know some 3D art. I know Josh does as well, but in terms of what we would consider sort of production quality assets, Captain Knight is probably our only experienced artist. It's definitely useful to be able to reuse his assets as much as possible, or get as much content out of them as possible, while still making sure it's not repetitive. In terms of when we would do closed alphas, it really depends what you consider a closed alpha. Because, yeah, I get you, Paxo. Because essentially, like, in terms of when we would consider starting to playtest, ideally as early as possible. At the point when we have gameplay and like a white boxed map that we're, semi, like we don't hate, give it to people. Most of the feedback is going to be, hey, this sucks. And I really didn't like this. And that didn't work for me at all. And that's great. That's exactly what we want to be hearing at that point, because we get like very, into stuff. I'm at this point, I'm focused on, getting gameplay experiences up and running. I'm not running around the map being like, okay, this movement doesn't feel right for the pace of the game we're trying to build. That's all later stuff. And that's stuff that, players will pick up on. So as early as possible, we'd probably want to start playtesting with a small focus group. That would be definitely during pre-production, because pre-production is essentially where you settle sort of your gameplay and sort of the style of gameplay that your game will have. And you can change that over time. It will morph and change over time, but the time for drastic shifts is in pre-production. And we want to make sure that while we're probably not going to like 100%, hit it out the park straight away, it will take iteration through, and that's what alpha, beta, and, early access and early release and whatever are for. But, it's during that sort of pre-alpha stage, as you put it, which is pre-production essentially for us, where we'd want to radically shift gameplay around. So, maybe in like an early playtest, we'll just sit down and, just give everyone a playtest, or give all of our like closed playtesters a build where movement speed is tripled. And it's stupid. Obviously, we're not going to like put that into the final game, but we want to see people's reactions to it. We want to see the dynamic shifts. There's Sid Meier, who obviously you'll recognize from like Civilization. I believe this was, there's a story about this. It's like when he was shipping, I forget which Civilization game it was. I think it was the first Civilization game. And he had like a huge map. And it was getting really close to the game's launch, and he was finding the game really boring. He was like, this is not fun, it's too slow. So he cut the map size in half. And, from there he fine-tuned it. But essentially just taking that big step. He talks about it, he's like, if I had just like, raised or lowered it by 50%, I would never have gotten there in time. Excuse me, I need to sneeze. I'll be right back. Alright, hopefully I won't need to sneeze again. Although saying that, I'm not convinced at this point. Thank you, I appreciate that. You may need to build a bigger map, but that time would be worth it. Can be used for longer with more modes. Agent G had some maps different, but you would repeat them many times in war. So we have, one of our like things that we've discussed internally is like, how do we make reusing one map layout interesting over the course of... Oh, you heard the sneezes? Okay. I turned my mic all the way down, but I don't actually have a mic mute button, so other than yanking the mic cable, I guess I can mute the stream mic next time. Fair enough. What was I talking about? Reusing maps. We've been talking about like how we can reuse maps while keeping the actual gameplay interesting, because obviously reusing stuff is good if we can keep it interesting. Like, you don't want to reuse stuff infinitely, because if we only have one map in the game, it's going to be a very boring game to play. But in that sense, like, if we can reuse parts of maps, so we've discussed some ideas around sort of procedural generation. Unreal has, none of us know how to use it because we've never actually used it, but it's called PCG. It's the procedural content generation. I forget if it's a plugin or what. That's editor preferences. That's not plugins. Come on. PCG. Yeah. So there's like a biome sample. Yeah, procedural content generation framework. PCG. It's right there. We don't actually have it enabled, but this is a plugin that it actually hasn't opened a tab. That's quite funny. There should be a thing there, but sure, we'll Google it. PCG. Unreal. I don't want. There we go. So like we've been looking into, you know, essentially, because the way PCG works, from what I've seen, is you have these like sub-assemblies essentially. So you build. This is all very technical stuff, but you build sort of little chunks of the level. So I don't know. You've got this forest biome generator that they're talking about here. And, you know, so you could just drag these little forest clips in. And okay, we can say, okay, because it's procedural, right, we can, you know, make a map that sometimes has a forest in one location and sometimes has a field there, for example. And if we really wanted to, we could base that on like the geographical location of the level. Like, okay, obviously it's not going to represent it one-to-one. We're not getting full brothers in arms. But, you know, if the area is particularly forested, that particular instance of that level could have a higher chance of having a forest instead of a field in that location. Stuff like this is not complicated to do, but it gives us a lot more I don't know, reusability for certain assets. Dimitri, you mentioned like less players at the beginning because of server prices. Yeah, I think, again, we went over this in another stream. It's all about AWS. I do not want to log into my AWS account. AWS, what's it called? Game Lift. That's what it is. This is what we were looking at. I don't know which one of these servers we'll get for free. And we don't have, you know, I don't know, $264,000 to just throw at game servers. So I still know what CCU is. Concurrent players per hour? No. Yeah, I don't know what CCU is. It seems to be like total players. I don't know. But yeah, I doubt we'll have, you know, 30,000 players at the start. Like, but still, it's not cheap. So we'll definitely have smaller stuff. I think potentially at the beginning we may even just do like peer-to-peer, so let people host their own servers and just kind of have that for our early testing before we need to set up all of the infrastructure to like get server builds rebuilding, because it's a lot easier to just test the game if we can just build it and then send that file to a bunch of people, or, you know, potentially put it on Steam and just have like a Steam depot that we can update, as opposed to having to not only find a way to distribute that file, but also having to, you know, update or like build a server image, update that server image, and start up some servers and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's very much up in the air right now. It's all up for debate. FedEx a flash drive. Yeah. With the size of like large Unreal Engine, with the size of Unreal Engine source installations, that may actually be the fastest way. I think when Josh tried to build it, it ended up at about 300 gigabytes for the engine alone. So I must give props to Josh. He has made this very pretty. But yeah, obviously the game will not be that large. I think probably right now the game is under a gigabyte, which will definitely not stay because we'll be adding assets. I think right now these are just about the only assets in the game, but yeah. All right, let's see if I can launch Lyra. I'm very curious if what am I thinking about? If I can find where gameplay experiences define their loading screen, because it would be quite cool to set up a gameplay experience loading screen, which right now is just sort of like the default Unreal Engine throbber in the corner here. And actually, for the sake of this, I'm going to go in here and just set the delay sex to like 8 seconds, just so we have it's Unreal Build Tool failed because the other version of the engine's building. Fine. Pretty much. I feel like art stuff will probably start speeding up, because Captain Knight will have he's moved now. I'm sure he's still unpacking and still has like shit to do, but there's a chance that like he'll get slightly more active, whereas me and Josh will sort of be off for about a month now. So I think in terms of programming progress, you will see less in the upcoming month. I've launched Lyra here. But yeah, we'll be back I'll be back, like, I would assume that like the next stream would probably be end of September. I don't know, let's pull up a calendar here. In terms of August, so I'll probably be back this week, and 14-15 is probably when I'll be aiming to be back in the UK. And then this week I'll be busy, and I'll probably be unpacking and shit and setting up the setup. So I'd say maybe 24th, 27, maybe back by then. We'll see. I might shift the days around a little. We'll see how my university schedule looks as well. But we will see. Okay, I need to look at some code. Because this is probably just going to be common loading screen. The widget to load for the loading screen. Okay. So this is another sort of thing that is set in the settings. Looks like default config. Config games, default game. So UI subsystem, common loading screen. Yeah, loading screen widget. There you go. So if I go to game/UI, UI foundation, loading screen. There's also, yeah, there you go. Loading screen host. There's also the new Fred Again album coming September 6th, which I'm very much looking forward to. Alright, so this is the Lyra loading screen. Very cool. I'm curious how they're hooking up the reason. Okay, so these are all their own widgets. And you, what are you bound to? Does this update itself? Yeah, okay. Gotcha. Okay, loading screen manager, get debug reason for showing or hiding loading screen. And so this just like tick updates. Okay. Interesting. There's also what's launching. I know Star Wars Outlaws launches at some point, but you know, it's it's Ubisoft, so I don't know, what else can you play? I wasn't convinced by Enlisted when I tried it out. I think I've uninstalled it already. Okay, let's yoink you off there, you off there, and you off there. And let's make ourselves a teeny tiny little old widget blueprint. I'm gonna have to stop this and start you. Are you one of the automation types, the sort of Satisfactory and Factorio people? I totally get you if yes, because I think, okay, yeah. I've never bought Factorio just because I know that I would just get like addicted, like crack levels of addicted to it. Because I played I don't know if it's still up, this was years and years ago, but I played like the demo, and oh boy, it was, yeah. It did not go particularly well. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna make a UI folder. Foundation UI. And loading screen. Alright, I think this, I was gonna say this might be our first user interface actually, but my door just opened itself. I think I might have ghosts in my house. I think that this is our first actual, like, supposedly final user interface. Or not supposedly final, but more like actually intended for the game. Because if I hop in here, I wonder if the gameplay ability gets added automatically. I feel like this loading screen's gonna take ages now because I set it to wait 8 seconds. God damn it. Yeah. So the HUD. This is the prototype HUD, but this is just sort of for like testing and shit. So this will be our first HUD, our first like actual user interface. Cool. Okay, user interface, widget blueprint. I'm just gonna say basic user widget, and we're just gonna call this widget blueprint loading screen. I agree, Josh did an incredible job with it, but yeah, the reason it's not dynamic is because we need to actually implement it. I need to figure out where the frickin', like, yeah, there we go, canvas panel, that's what I'm looking for. Okay. If I add an image, make it, you know, stretch, just like that, and we're gonna make this kind of dark gray. I don't actually know if I have, like, the Warbound icon stuff on this PC. Because essentially I want to find, the reason I'm not sharing my screen right now is just because I'm going through like all my folders, and I'd rather not, you know, leak shit. So, but no, I don't actually have any of the Warbound files, so I suppose we're going just Warbound. What do I focus on first, form or function? Oop. Alright, we're gonna anchor this in the center. I tend to like my function. Although I do also like making stuff pretty. So sort of both, I don't know. I also want to center this text and then center that. That should be a little bit bigger, I suppose. Like, I'm going to make this as ooh. I'm gonna make this as nice as I can make it, but it's also not that deep because I'm sort of just here to test stuff out, and you know, if this is just a temporary loading screen, that's fine. Okay, so let's see if setting this in our Warbound settings actually would work. Oops. So if I go script common loading screen, common loading settings, and then loading screen widget is equal to game Warbound UI. I think that's the, is it that? Yeah, game Warbound UI foundation loading screen WBP loading screen. I think I need to add the underscore C at the end. And now I'm going to rebuild the engine here. You're function first type of guy. Yeah, I've done some design. I see you saying like you've got no sense of form. I'm also not a particularly, you know. Okay, well that has not worked. Create widget called with a null class. Alright, maybe let's yoink that loading screen. Okay, have I made any typos there? Because that has been a problem before. Common, yeah, okay. Common loading screen. Yeah, I think even if you are looking for form, because eventually you will need form in just about everything if you want it to, you know, be a decent version of that thing. I think, you know, form over function is obviously a bad thing, but I think also doing function over form doesn't do you any favors. You kind of need both. So I really should be testing this like one at a time. I'm gonna see if adding the C at the end helps. I also may not need to rebuild the engine each time. I don't actually know how it reloads like settings and stuff, but hey. I'm also seeing the asset manager yell that it doesn't have the correct game data. The heck? Why do I no longer have the correct game data? Oh, because I've added underscore C to the game data. I'm not smart. That the stream's going great so far. You just do functions. It's worked in life so far. Honestly, very valid. I think I'd rather have something that is functional and ugly rather than something that is nice and not functional. Functionality underscores everything. But I do think that, like, you know, we should aim for both. It's still not happy with me that create widget's being called with null class. Log loading screen failed to find the loading screen widget. Game Warbound UI Foundation loading screen. Okay, is it looking for like a specific... Okay. What was that error? That's Josh stuff. Failed. Okay, I'm gonna just search failed to load the loading screen widget. Alright. Where's my global search? Failed to load. Is it capitalized? No, it's not. Okay. Failed to load the loading screen. This is loading screen manager. Very predictable. And this is trying to create create widget instance loading screen widget class settings loading screen widget, which is it's funny, it's even detecting it here. It needs to be umg.user widget. I'm pretty sure it's umg.user widget. Yeah, native parent class umg.user widget. So this is in theory fine. Copy file path. Let's see. If I paste. wbp.loading screen. Where's my... reference path. Maybe that's what I need. Is that like a thing? Do I need to put the little dot there? I might have to actually. Let's try that again. That would check out with how others are done. Warehouse environment? Okay, fair enough. I like it. The door moving is just a really squeaky move. I don't know if that's audible on stream. Still nothing. Interesting. Interesting. Let's try the underscore C. I don't actually know what that does, but oh, they actually like, I'm actually gonna say no. Okay, not that it gives a shit. Because they tend to do it like this now that I'm looking at Lyra. So let's try that. I have no idea what the underscore C means. I'll Google it if this works, but you hear it all. You hear my squeaky ass door. Fair enough. I'm hoping that in the next house, in the next flat, I'll be slightly more sound treated. Let's fucking go. All right. Very, very cool. That also matches the like color of the Unreal window almost perfectly, which is quite funny. But yeah, what I did want to say is that like, I guess I come at it from sort of a consumer technology perspective. Like a lot of actually most of the work that I've done has always been taking complex systems and like making them accessible to people. And obviously the function there is important because it's a complex system, but you do want it to be like accessible to people as well. Okay, let's make a little loading screen widget. Just a user widget. Widget blueprint. Loading screen text. And for this, I'm just going to do a little canvas panel. And I'm going to make some text, I suppose, just in the center. That is going to be, let's make this not position, I want size. Ooh, I made that. I keep forgetting. In Blender, when you hold shift, it like decreases the increments. In Unreal, I'm pretty sure it's control and shift speeds it up. I'm just gonna go close the door just because there's things happening, but I will be right back. Alright, I've locked the door now, so there's no way that the wind should be able to open it. Let's make this quite large. Maybe we do like, well, I want the height bigger first. 120, 200. Obviously, justification center. Can I align it horizontally? No, I've aligned it horizontally. Can I align it vertically? Apparently not. Alright, I guess we just decrease this until it's like exactly the size of the text. Brilliant design. And then we reset the position. Okay. Let's do the implementation. And I think this was common load. Okay. I really need to get new little keyboard feet that keep falling off, and it's making my keyboard really shaky to type on. Okay, I'm gonna go have to reference Lyra for this again, because I need a reference to common loading screen, and I'm not 100% sure how to get that. But anyway, will you get a new Ergo keyboard? Probably not, because I don't have that much money and I have other things that I would like to buy first. We'll see how the new job goes. It's not really that new anymore, but we'll see how that job goes while I'm actually at school, because most of the time I've been working, that job has been just this summer when I haven't been at school. Alright, come on. Alright, we're back here. Okay. Get loading screen manager game instance subsystem. Okay. Is that just like get loading? Yeah. Okay. Okay, I suppose I have no idea what Ryder's doing. Oh, it's updated in the background. That's not very helpful, Ryder. I don't know why it did that. Fair enough, I guess. Yeah, carpal tunnel is, I mean, I should be okay because I'm about to spend like 3 weeks away from a keyboard, so you know it's not that deep. But okay, what is game instance subsystem? Okay, it's just part of loading screen manager. Okie dokie. Let's try it, I suppose. Game instance subsystem. Get common loading screen. I guess we'll find out if that works. Yeah, if it's something like a keyboard, I'm going to be one of those assholes who spends like a decent sum of money on it. Get loading screen manager. Excellent. And then now from here, I want to get, and I want this from the get reasons. No. Is that it? Is it get reasons for showing or hiding loading screen? Well, let's get debug reasons. What if I just search reas? Okay, I guess it's that. And then I need to make you. I've forgotten how to do UI. It has been ages and ages. We should probably think about localization as well. Is variable. That's what I need to check. All right, and then we're going to set text on tick, and we're going to do that. Now if I hit play, I haven't actually added this widget to the other one. Fair enough, I'll take it. If I just add it here. And we're going to pin this to the bottom corner. Also kind of didn't expect this to be to scale. I thought I could scale it down in here, but clearly not. I forgot about that. Okay, we need like 1 there. Yeah, something like that. Minus 600, 300. Fine. Can I make this small? Can I make this canvas smaller? Did we say 600 by 300? That should be 600 by 300. Let me remove that, and then we're going to add it again. $600, 300. I'm just going to put it there for now, and make the text like way smaller. Font. Yeah. All right. Let's give that a shot. That's pretty freaking cool. Obviously, the formatting here sucks and it needs work, but the fact that like this is doing its thing and we can see why things are loading is pretty fucking cool. Because the common loading system that we're using here, you can like stack loading things. You can be like, oh, this is holding up the load screen because, you know, whatever. So we're going to probably be using this just about everywhere. And clearly this needs to be way smaller. I don't know, we'll do like 30, I'm thinking. What if I just type it? That's probably way smarter. That's pretty fucking cool. So the experience is still loading. And I know what they did is they did like is it append or concatenate? It's append, right? I'm just gonna do like dot dot dot. Nice. And then I'd like to, there's a throbber. Yeah, what if we toss like a circular? Oh, incredible. What's the other throbber? Okay, I like the circular one for this. Center that shit. Like 150 by 80. And then 0.5, of course. That's fine by me. And then we can move it like down. I don't know why it's lagging so much. I know, this is, you were asking about form over function earlier. This is really quite something here. This is really something. I'm actually gonna go into here and make this quite a bit smaller. I don't know, did that reset? What if I just want it like 150 by 300? Yes, okay, save. And then you, I want small, so you're centered. 35. What font size are we at? 30. Kind of 34. Oh, I can scale the things here as well. Okay. So obviously the anchor is going to be that corner. I'm just trying to get it to look presentable. Because the function's there, right? But that looks a lot better. Like, I'd also like to replace the Warbound logo with like the actual logo, but I don't have that handy right now. It's on my laptop, so. But no, that's really cool. Just like the fact that that's loading screen, and yeah, when it's done, it loads, and our experience is still loading, so perfect. The OBS is linked to, I think it's not Streamlabs, is it? I don't know, it's some website, because it's linked to like, it's basically, it's not a local asset, because I did it all on my laptop and I wanted it to work on OBS anywhere, so yeah. But that's really cool. I'm very happy with that. Let me just remove the... Let's make this use a console variable. I think that's probably the next step. Because it's great to test stuff like this if I want, like, you know, the loading screen to load for a long time so I can see it. But I would also like to be able to see. You're not wrong, but also I don't want to like bootleg my own logo. So okay, let's make some console variables. So namespace Warbound console variables. What console variable are we trying to make? Experience load delay duration. Okay, so let's make float get experience load delay duration, which is just going to return just the cheeky random times the experience load random delay range. See, but I don't know what looks worse, like random print screen or just like, okay, we'll do it in a bit. Just also I don't actually have like the Warbound logo. I only have like, if I swap this on the stream, you'll notice it's the Warbound live logo. So yeah, it might be somewhere in the Discord. Let me check. I'm gonna keep this stuff up just because for the actual Discord stuff I need to hop into the dev channels. Logo. Okay, I have actually managed to find it. Let me launch Warp. Okay. I will have to hop back to drag it in. Actually, let me just move File Explorer over to the other monitor, and let's keep working on this. And then once this is in, we can do things. Okay. Static float experience load random delay min. And then we're going to do static f auto console variable ref random delay min. Right, text warbound.chaos.experience delay load.min 6. It's the random delay min. Let's write a hint. This value in seconds be added as the delay of load completion of the experience, along with the random value warbound.chaos.experience delay load.random 6. And then we need a flag, ECVF default. Actually, I need that like that. Alright. Load random delay range is equal to 0 to 0f. And then I'm just going to yoink this whole chunk. And that's obviously going to be cvar experience load random delay range delay range dot random 6, and then at random amount of this time between 0 and this value is a delay of load completion experience along with the value min 6. Okay. That should run fine now. So now we should be able to essentially make Yozip very happy with me, because I can make it so that the game has an additional 12-second delay, and then he can be like, oh, Ellie, the loading times are really bad, can you fix them? And then I can change it to an 8-second delay, and then he'll be happy with me. And then 6 months later, he'll come back and say, oh, Ellie, the load times are really long. And I'll say, oh, Yazip, I've already fixed them. And he'll say, can you take another look? I'll pay you money this time. And then I can change the delay to 7 seconds, and he'll be like, wow, a whole second improvement. Wow, you're incredible. All right, what were our console commands? Warbound dot, there we go. Experience min 6. I think you just write the number in Unreal. Okay, so now that should be 8, and we should be loading for 8 seconds. Shed takes 1 minute to load. Fair enough. All right, wow, that was a long load screen, Ellie. Okay, fine, Yozip. Is this better? Wow, oh, that's incredible. I'm the best program. Or you can play Russian roulette, because we can turn this to 0. And you can turn this to random sex and put like 300. So now every time you hit play, it's essentially anyone's best guess of how long you'll be waiting to load. It could be up to 5 minutes. It could be literally 0. I clearly have not gotten particularly lucky. I'm not going to wait that out. I'm just going to set that to like 5 and then forget about it. Should we leave that in the game, guys? Loading Russian roulette. Okay, let me import this image. Warbound assets. Images. Actually, I totally forgot that I like prep myself for this. No, don't drag select things. Import. Okay, so now if I go to Warbound UI Foundation loading screen, if you remember, we've got this image at the back, and I can change this brush to War. You'd think the word Warbound would sort of. What if I search logo? Boom. Boom. And then you can go away. And I have no idea why it's so dark actually. It's like being tinted by something. That's strange. When elevator music? What do you mean? Why is it being tinted? Is it the image or is it the thing? No, this looks fine. No maps is fine. sRGB should be fine wherever that is. Oh, loading screen music. Oh boy. Yeah, this image is getting tinted for some reason. Color and opacity. Oh, because it's good. There we go. There we go. Okay, I've got to move the little throbber down now. But look at that, y'all. Isn't that cool? Oh, we got really lucky there. We loaded really fast. Aw, she's a beauty. Alright, now if I hop into this and set the min6 to like 8. Look at that. Look at that, baby. Oh, fuck yeah. Now I'm pretty sure this is like stored in like somewhere in here. Default editor. Default gameplay. No, that's gameplay tags. 1 hour to make a loading screen. Shut up. Game development is hard, okay? I just don't know where it's storing things. Also, I did want to Google why E5. Okay, let me yoink those away. E5 underscore C. Teach me. It's the active variable type, the specific object variable type that matches your object. C postfix is added to a blueprint name to create internal name for blueprint generated class. Interesting. Fair enough. It's true, to be fair. You never actually criticized it taking 1 hour. But here we are. Ain't she nice? Okay, I would probably say min6 like 1 just so you get to actually see the loading screen, and then there's a 5-second random on top of it. Cool. Oop. Now, one thing I'm really curious about gameplay experiences. We got about 45 minutes left, so I'm going to sort of mess around with gameplay. Actually, one thing that I did want to move over was the default experience, which is going to horribly break things. I think if I go to Warbound and just make a new folder called defaults, and then move, this is gonna, okay, I'm really hoping this doesn't crash the engine straight up, because I need you to move there. And then we can rename game Warbound defaults like that. And then if I move system experiences, if I move that into Warbound defaults as well, and then we're gonna show redirectors, update redirector references, delete unreferenced redirectors, and then I can delete the experiences folder, and then I can delete the system folder, and then I'm going to redirectors. And we'll do the same for CR mannequin body take 1. Which sounds sort of like a Captain Knight initiative. So, I don't know. If you're still in the chat, I'm pretty sure that's your work, but do feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. That sounds like some mocap data. Right. We can yoink all the other filters away. And then, where was that? Was the default editor? Default engine? I forget exactly where we specified the default, gameplay experience. Oh, it was in... Was it in the experience manager component? I think it was down here. It was like right at the end of... It's where it tries to like load the experience. End play. This is all tick tick tick. It's got like a comment on top that like mentions the, or is it the, it's the game mode, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Okay, can we do, because this seems to originate from game. So we need Warbound defaults. Warbound experience definition. Let's try that. I apologize for jumping to the, I suppose, criticism viewpoint of that. I suppose you kind of get used to, like, on the internet, just that's sort of the approach most people take. I'm really hoping this loads, because if it doesn't... Okay, we seem to be okay. I'm also curious if default experience works, so I'm just going to delete that, and we're going to hit play. That's not a particularly positive sign, I'm not going to lie. Oh, I bet you I know why. I'm a bit silly. Okay. That doesn't need to be like that at all. Stop and rerun. I just need to add it in the primary asset definitions. Ugh, a little bit of a stretch. What do you mean, cannot open file? Build the file. Oh my god, who's that fussing? Freaking unreal. We should be fine now. I just need to go into project settings and asset manager. And down here, we're going to go into game, Warbound, defaults. And now, if I toss that out and I hit play, yeah, totally fine. Totally fucking fine. Perfect. Alright. Just gonna set that to tests. Save the gameplay dev map. Very cool. Very quick loading screen there. Funny how that works. Cool. So let's experiment with some of our gameplay experiences. Mostly, kind of curious as to... So we can add components. We can also add action sets, which is pretty neat. So what I'm going to try and do, because we have this Warbound ability set, which has this toggle HUD ability in it. But I also don't know that we have an action set. Let's see what else we can like add this to, because we have our default. I haven't touched game feature plugins because those are sort of the next step. Because I'm pretty sure that action sets are not ability sets. Yeah, as you can see, it's not an ability set, it's an action set. And I'm not entirely sure what an action set does. So it might be time to take a look at what Lyra does with this. Before I do that though, I'm gonna push some changes. I've broken everything. Okay. I haven't actually broken everything. It's just there's a lot of changes. Mostly because there's like added and deleted U assets. Added loading screen, and what else have we done? And minor gameplay experience polish. Cool. That is change 146 in Warbound. Getting very close to 150. I think that will probably be Josh's change, just because this is my last session for about, I don't know, a month and a half. But, hey. I do quite like primary assets though. It's very interesting. It reminds me of having sort of a... Have I forgotten what this is called? A fucking entity component system. That's what it is. That's what I'm thinking of. Is this going to be the DLL? I don't want to add the DLL to the depot. It should be excluded by default, I think. But okay, we were going to take a peek at what Lyra does. Because I think it's interesting. And, you know, learn a lot from Lyra. I'm mostly curious to see if they ever add components to their players, or if they've like fully replaced components with gameplay abilities. So I think it'll be in Shooter Core. There's just an experiences folder, fair enough. Experiences. So widgets are definitely one thing that like is a really powerful bit of gameplay experiences. So that is an action that we already have implemented. Because, you know, if you're playing like a team deathmatch versus a cap points game mode, the UI is just going to be different. So this is how we'll be implementing that. At the same time, let's take a look at these action sets. So action sets also have game features to enable. And they mostly add input mappings. Oh, show scoreboard, aim down sights, throw grenade, emote, drop weapon, melee. Gotcha. So this would be, I suppose, a more modular way of adding, because I was like, oh, we can just like, because you know, obviously inside the pawn data you have your input setup. And I was like, okay, we can just like, you know, change it here, but it does make sense that you'd want a slightly more modular way of doing that. Like, there's no point of having a bunch of like different, just like combinations of inputs so that you can have separate characters. Okay. Standard HUD enables adds widgets. Equipment, touchpads, seems like mobile stuff. Although I don't know why you would like, I suppose it's another like set of modularization. Because these action sets are essentially just these actions already. But you can see that these are like, oh, we've got basic shooter accolades, which adds an elimination chain processor, stuff like streaks, assists, and accolades to the existing thing. And this is something that you're going to want for most game modes, so I suppose it makes sense to sort of pick them out so you don't have to construct game modes completely from scratch. You have sort of building blocks. That does make sense to me. Okay, I see you. And then elimination is going to add a lot more components. Okay, this is just, what is controller? I'm very curious what this is. Pick random character. So this is added to just any controller. And it's picking between Manny and Quinn. Lyra controller component character parts. So they've got like a custom component that loads the character parts. I know they talked about this in one of the streams they did, but interesting nonetheless. Team color basic. Fair enough. I didn't realize that, like, I mean, it looks like he's got a tennis ball for a head. Fair enough, I suppose. This is all like cosmetic system and stuff. I'm sure we'll eventually implement something like this, but not today. Not today. Okay, we've got about half an hour left. One thing that I would like, well, there's two things that I like to do. First, I'd like to take a moment to finish and add the tag relationship mappings. I don't think default camera mode is something that we need because unlike Lyra, we're not a third-person game where camera modes are a little bit more important. You know, you want to sort of punch the camera in when you're aiming down sights and all of that. We handle all of that through animation. The camera doesn't really move. So I'm not too worried about camera modes. I'm gonna add a to-do, look into if it's worth implementing these or not. Is we're an FPS game as opposed to TPS. And let's make an ability tag relationship mapping. And then the other thing that I'd like to do is add what's called a user-facing gameplay experience, which isn't going to be a huge amount of use now, but essentially the idea of a user-facing gameplay experience, it's not a particularly complicated class, but the point is when we build like UI, user-facing gameplay experiences can link a map and a gameplay experience together. So we can make a bunch of user-facing gameplay experiences, and then that's how you would select maps. And that allows us to, have one map that, for example, has multiple game modes on it. And it, we make two user-facing gameplay experiences that have the same map, but different game modes. Different gameplay experiences associated with them. So, this is in the pawn data. And let's just pop into a tag relationship mapping. Which is apparently part of the ability system. I don't think we have stuff here yet for tag mappings. Lyra has a ton of shit for its ability system, which we don't have implemented yet. There's a chance that we end up adding more stuff, but we'll see. For now, I'm just going to pop into the ability system, add a class, not that kind of class, add an Unreal class, and it's based off of data asset, and I'm going to call it Warbound ability tag relationship mapping. Add that, and then in here that should automatically check out. I'm going to add a forward declaration for it, and we should be good there. Now all we've got to do is actually implement these, which shouldn't be too tricky. It's not the most complicated of classes. Let's toss a struct at the top. Struct f warbound ability tag relationship. And that's gonna have a generated body. And it's going to yell at me because it needs to be a U struct for it to have a generated body. Go away. I just want the U struct. And then we're going to have an F gameplay tag, ability tag, and then an F gameplay tag container. And we're going to include that, which includes gameplay tags, so we're good there. Ability tags to block. So this is the same as the actual gameplay ability reaction to ability tags. So we can block, cancel, have required or blocked tags as well here. So I'm just gonna make, actually we need one less of these, and that's going to be ability tags to cancel, if I can spell cancel, and activation required tags and activation blocked tags. And all of these are going to be uProperty, edit anywhere, category, ability. I need quotations, ability. And then we can make all of those like that. And then you are going to be special. You're going to be uProperty, And you also going to be edit anywhere, category ability, but I want to say meta categories gameplay.action. Let's do some comments. The tag that this container relationship is about. Single tag, but abilities can have multiple of these abilities. The other ability tags that will be blocked by any ability using this tag. And then will be cancelled. And then if an ability has the tag, this is implicitly added to the activation required tags of the ability. Activation blocked tags. Blocked. And now we actually have our class that we want to implement. So I'm going to make this private. We're going to say this is going to be the list of relationships between different gameplay tags. Which ones to block or cancel. And that's going to be let's do T-array. And that's going to be the Warbound ability tag relationship we've just created. Ability tag relationships, absolutely fantastic. Property, edit anywhere category is going to be ability. Meta is going to be title property is ability tag. And now we'll have some public functions to actually manipulate these. Void get ability tags to block and cancel. Consts f gameplay tag container ability tags. F gameplay tag container out tags to block. F gameplay tag container, and this will be out tags to cancel. I think that'll be it there. Although, yeah, let's make this const, and then we'll make get required and blocked activation tags. Const f gameplay tag container, and a reference, not a pointer. I mean, a reference is a pointer, but you know. Again, this is going to be your ability tags. We're going to have our f gameplay tag container. This is going to be out activation required. And then we'll have another gameplay tag container, which is going to be out block required. Or that's probably better worded, out activation blocked. Out activation blocked. And then we want a bool is ability cancelled by tag. Const f gameplay tag container ability tags gameplay tag action tag. Alright, let's just do some cheeky comments. Given a set of ability tags, parse the tag relationship and fill out tags to block and cancel. This is going to be given a set of ability tags, add additional required and blocking tags. This last one is going to return true if the specified ability tags are cancelled by the past in action tag. Specified ability tags are cancelled by the past in action tag. I mean, it's... I went from UI stuff to code, which I know a little bit better than UI stuff, so... It's not, like, you know... that deep. Let's do the brand new inline generate. Did I mistype include? No, okay. Warbound ability tag relationship mapping. I don't know. Sometimes IntelliSense suggests it, and sometimes I need to type the whole freaking thing out myself. So we're just going to do for, just going to iterate through the tags. Classic. Or do I do a for each? Ability tag relationship, F warbound tag, what is it? Ability tag relationship, tag ability tag relationships. We can also do it like that. And that prevents us from having to, I think it's technically a teeny bit slower, but I'm not too fussed. If tag dot has tag dot ability tag, is it? What? No, we want if ability tags dot has tag dot ability tag, if out tags to block, out tags to block append tags tag. I should rename this to also like want this to be a reference, not a copy. Okay, I'm just going to use a frickin' for loop like I was going to use before. Int 32, I equals 0, I is less than ability tag relationships dot num I plus plus. Hello Yazip, how are you doing? I hope you didn't hear some of my comments earlier. That would be embarrassing. I hope your weather's going to get better. Actually, I need the thing first. I need const f warbound ability tag relationship tags ability tag relationships. We'll do like that. And that way I can get a reference, and then if ability tag. Oops. Why do you think I'm here? Because you love the stream and it's a really entertaining stream and I'm like a great streamer or whatever. Text to block, append tags, tags ability, tags to block. No relationships in Warbound. What relationships are you talking about? That we want out tags to cancel, out tags to cancel, append tags, ability tags to, that's not what I wanted. Ability tags to cancel. And then this is going to be practically the same thing. I'm just going to head up here and yoink that. I have missed a, I think at the bottom. And then this is just going to be out activation required. Out activation blocked. Out activation required. Out activation. Oh, it's frozen for a second. Hello. Activation blocked. Activation block tags. Activation required tags. Nice. Spoke to some people on Discord. Crazy. And then I'm just gonna do return false so it stops yelling at me. Why is it yelling at me now? Member function can be made set right because it returns nothing. And then we're just going to do the exact same thing at 32.0 I. That's the ability tag relationships num I++. Ability tag relationship. Tags ability tag relationships I. If tags dot ability tag is equal to the action tag and the tags dot ability to cancel has any ability tags, return true. Alright, that wasn't too bad. I'll build it, I suppose, just to make sure I haven't screwed up somewhere, but IntelliSense didn't say anything, so we should be fine. Yozit, we need a loading screen so that if you get really frustrated about, you know, needing something for us developers to do other than build the rest of the game, you can set like loading screen targets so I can decrease the time delay. Oh, you mean like actually seriously? I mean, we're using common loading screen, so for everything? All of it? I mean, if you stick around, I'm just going to implement user-facing experience definitions because they're cool and important. But if you stick around for like another 10 minutes, I'll show you what I've done because it's pretty cool and I'm pretty happy with it. Alright, one last thing for the season finale of the Warbound dev streams. Let's pop into game modes, add an Unreal class. This is going to be another data asset. But it's going to be, actually it's going to be a primary data asset. And it's going to be called Warbound User Facing Experience Definition. And this is something I've been very excited about creating for some time now. So I'm really chuffed that we're here actually. It's very cool. Because this is essentially the data structure that contains all of the settings that will define a match. So let's get started. We're going to say public. So we need a map ID first. So primary asset ID, map ID. We need an experience ID, which is also going to be a primary asset ID. Experience ID. F string. And these are going to be extra args. Now some more of the user-facing stuff. Text title. Tile title. The UI tile title. F text tile subtitle. I'm nicking stuff from Lara here. We'll probably change this as our UI develops, but for now, that's a good base. We just want a pointer to a texture 2D, which is going to be the tile icon. T soft class pointer user widget loading screen widget bool B is default experience bool B show in front end replay is false. We don't have replays implemented for now. Max player count equals 16. That is not a confirmation or anything that we will have 16 players in a match. This is just a totally random default value. Okay. I don't think that's within the scope of right now, because I think that's part of the common session subsystem, and I don't know if we're going to be using that. We need to have a discussion about how that works, because this is like how the actual hosting will take place, and it like creates the session. For now, I'm just going to implement some of these little values here. 16 players confirmed, clip it and ship it. Good luck. What if I just do 0, huh? Fucking take a screenshot of that and post it somewhere. Warbound has 0 players confirmed. Print reads right. Edit anywhere. Category is going to be experiences. Meta, and we want this to be allowed types. Map. Nice. And I think this is just going to essentially be the same thing for all of this. And this is going to be a Warbound experience definition. And then everything else is defined already as a class. The reason we need the meta tags for the first two is because they're defined as primary asset IDs. Everything else can be the same. -1 usually is unlimited, yeah. What's like the limit of 16 bits? I need just like a calculator. It's like 6. Sorry, it's 2 to the power of 16. Where's power? 2 to the power of 16. That's not what I fucking wanted. 2 to the exponent of 16. Wow, thank you. That's so helpful. Okay, I'm just gonna go to Desmos. I don't... Oh, right, this was formulas. Okay, let's make a new blank graph. 2... 6... 2 to the 16. 65536. That's the max player count. Actually, this is an int 32, so this should be 32. Y'all, are you watching the stream while driving? Horribly unsafe. 32-bit max. 32 bits. And max value. Paste. Are you in a bus or are you driving is the question, not whether you're watching it while commuting, because clearly you're watching it while commuting. Can I put up the pic you sent me? If you must, yeah, can do. Let me just open Discord. The reason I don't have Discord open by default is because the last time I did that, I accidentally leaked the dev channel and I had to, you know, edit the video and take it down off of Twitch. Anyways, that looks like a trolley bus. So, good boy, Josip. Not. Also, is it that dark? I can't tell if that's I think that's just the dark thing, but it looks really dark. It's like, I guess it's 9 p.m. there, so I guess it's starting to be dark. It's a tram. That checks out. I should have gotten that. Slavonska. Nice. I should have gotten that. That's a tram. Just the seating layout on its own. Fair. I'm stupid apparently. But yes, Warbound. 2 million player battles confirmed, I suppose. Alright, let's just add some comments here. Wrong place. Okay. Show when loading into or back out of a given experience. Josip sent a video. I've closed Discord already. That's enough from you, Josip. Here's the other photos Josip has sent. That looks quite rainy. And you got that man's knee. Good job. And the video. That's very loud for me, and there's no audio on stream, so. Looks like nice weather, though. A nice little sunset walk, I'm sure, would be absolutely lovely. Anyway, let's get back to commenting. Oop. Alright. If true, this is the default experience that should be used for quick play and given priority in the UI. Show in the front end. If true, so will show up in the experiences list in the front end. If true, a replay recorded of the game. Max number of players for this session. I'm going to drop that back down to 12, let's say. All right. We do need to create a hosting request and actually like be able to host sessions from this, but that I feel like that might be the next set of the next season of Warbound dev streams. Because, oh, what are you fussy with? What's it upset with? Hello? I mean, I've been considering doing sort of seasons of dev streams, 12 streams at a time, sort of focused on one topic. It's something we discussed at the beginning of the stream. I think it'd be quite fun, and then after the end of the stream, I'll make a video discussing what I've learned, or, you know, just like summarizing stuff that I've learned, or the stream, or some highlights, or whatever that I can put on the live, on the main channel. Referenced in function dynamic initializer for fsoft objects pointer. It's going to be this. Do I need to like include the class? I'm going to forward declare the class user widget. Now if I build, okay, it's still unresolved import. Interesting. Let's forward declare the other things. Class eObjects, class eTexture2D. Also, this should be category experience. Oop. That's not the right thing. There we go. Okay, I'm going to guess that the issue that I'm having here is just the Warbound game build CS. Because this probably doesn't include the widget. If it's common UI. Let's try that. There's a dependency module that I'm not including. That's essentially going to be the one causing this issue. Can you rebuild, please? Oh, it's syncing project. Okay. I'm just taking a look at the list of public and private dependency module names. And I can't see one other than common UI that's related. Well, hello dear viewers, welcome back to the stream. I'm not quite sure why that happened. I'm starting to think that it's just the internet in this house. It does this sometimes. The good news is this is the last stream from this house, so, you know, and you didn't actually miss anything because this still failed. So I'm wondering what I have not included, because common UI is in there now. Yeah, stream ripped. It's the internet. I'll have that sorted for the next place, hopefully. UMG, that's what I'm fucking missing. Ugh, okay. I bet you this is it. let's rebuild now. It's still fucking syncing project, so it's gonna be ages, but hey, got a little retrospective vibes going. Just as we wrap up this final I have no idea what syncing projects means. All I know is that it's really annoying because it stops my build from running. Yes, okay, that was it. Okay, let's do a quick wrap up. I want to create a user-facing gameplay experience just for the shits and giggles, even if it's not going to actually do anything for now. And then we'll sound it off. Just to demonstrate to Yozip, I don't know if Yozip's watching anymore. In case you are watching Yozip, here's the loading screen. That one went very quickly. Let's change it to have a delay. And there you go. There's the beautiful loading screen. Yozip isn't here. Unfortunate. Too bad. I think a lot of people just left because the stream dropped. But yeah, he can watch the VOD. That's fine. I'll stick the two together and upload them later today. And if I go... Let's go... Editor? Where should we put this? I'm actually not sure right now. I feel like partially it should be related to maps as well. But I don't know. I'm just gonna go put it with UI. But that also doesn't make any sense. Because it's sort of like, you know, all the maps and shit together. We'll just put it in 4. In core. User facing gameplay experiences. And that'll get moved eventually. But now we can make not a blueprint class, we can make a data asset, which is a Warbound user facing experience definition. And we can say I don't know, we'll say like DA because I don't have a prefix for experience definitions. Data asset test UFG. Fine, that'll work. Now we actually don't have any maps in our primary asset IDs, but you know, we can have our test experience. There's a title, there's an icon, there's a loading screen widget, whatever we choose. I'm just going to put our current loading screen there. You can obviously adjust the max player count, whether you want to record replays or not. This is essentially a match in a file, which I think is really cool. But on that bombshell, let me zero that out. On that bombshell, it's time for me to end the stream. It's been a real pleasure doing these last 12 streams with all of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will be on holiday for... Let's kind of do a thing like that. I will be on holiday until probably the 15th or 16th of September, so about a month and a half. I might be around in about 2 weeks for a weekend. We might do something then. And I'll be available all of September on Discord, but I'll be working on websites and bot stuff because I won't have access to my PC. Thank you so much for joining on all of the streams. All the Twitch VODs are up on YouTube as always, And I look forward to welcoming you back to Season 2 of the streams in about a month and a half in the new place. And we'll keep working on Warbound. I'm wondering if there's anything else I should mention. Yeah, all the streams are on YouTube. My main channel's on YouTube as well, if you're particularly curious for more game development stuff. And yeah, expect slightly less development progress over the next month or so, just as things sort of calm down. I take my August holiday, and Josh will be returning to work as well, so he'll have slightly less time. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning into the streams all this time. And I will catch you all in about a month and a half for stream round 2. Alright. Take care. Enjoy your August and half of September. I hope you all have a lovely month. And I'm very excited to come back and work some more on Warbound when I get back. Alright. Take care. Bye.